Well, welcome back, everyone, for the final live stream of 2020. And I'm hoping that Anne and Alan are going to join me, but I do have Daniela. Welcome, Daniela. And we have Mario, complete, both of them with Santa hat. I'm the party pooper here.
Yeah, yeah.
How
Hello,
you
Bill.
doing? Hi,
Hello,
Mario.
everybody.
So,
Hello.
2021, what's it been like for you guys?
Well, better than last year, at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And
but I think we expect it even much better.
yeah, um, I think that the only good thing is that at least for the local businesses, I think the summer seemed to be good, and then even into September, and even some have said October, November. So maybe they managed to recoup a little bit of their losses from the previous 12 or 15 months. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yes,
Well,
thanks
I was
God and
thinking that
thanks.
sorry, I was thinking the daytime is really really busy everywhere, but at nighttime when I drive home or something, that a few places seem still empty still. So I don't know if the people don't go out that much anymore, or but definitely the summer was really good and really busy for everyone. I think.
yeah, I think I've got Anne just about joining us. I don't see a picture of her. Her signal is not great, but let's just connect anyway. Anne, can you hear us? Anne, can you hear us? Okay, not at the moment. Maybe she'll need to try reconnecting again. It's just that the signal looks very weak. I know that she's trying this, but from her mobile from Gibraltar, I understand. So that's probably what the problem is. Okay. Um. So Mario, you were going to say about 2021.
Yes, not only it has had one day less than last year, it is
Right.
also that because of the good weather and the elimination of all the restrictions, a lot of people has been able to go out at least
Yeah.
midday, as Daniela said, perhaps not at night, but at midday. And bar, restaurants, and shops have been much busier than last year.
Right.
So it is true that at least we have hope that things will get better for 2022.
Yeah.
We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a train coming against us.
Ha.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Anne has rejoined us. Can you hear us, Anne? Hello, Anne. Can you hear us? Your signal looks good, Anne, but I'm not. I've got no picture, and I'm not sure you can hear us. Okay, listen, guys. We've covered quite a lot of topics during well, since when did we start? May or June time, I think.
Yeah.
We've
Mhm.
covered a lot of topics, and I guess for you, Mario, you've kind of got
Yes,
the poison chalice in a little bit, talking about council meetings. But I do think it's important that we get out there, the information that we have, so that people maybe don't feel quite so poorly informed about what actually happens behind these golden gates of power up there in Mijas Pueblo.
yes. Well, I usually say it is even more important what is not happening.
Right.
And today, which is the 16th of December, we still haven't got a clue about the budget of the year 2022. In fact, as you know, today we have been called to the last meeting of the year. That will be on Wednesday, the 29th.
Yeah.
And 14 days before, as today, we still haven't got any single paper. So again, The budget of 2021 will have to be, let's say, extended,
Right.
but only the crucial things. A lot of services that the town hall renders regarding helping people will not be available on January and possibly neither on February, and perhaps even not in March, because
Yeah.
they haven't done their duty in time. Possibly
Right.
this year, December has arrived all of a sudden, and they didn't know it was coming after November, so they couldn't foresee this situation.
Yeah, and really that's going to create problems for our meetings next year, isn't it, Mario? Because we're going to have to just approve things time and time again, and yeah,
Correct, and you are just thinking about the 25 councillors, but there are a lot of people in the town hall whose work depend on the yearly budget. So they will have to work twice. First, extending the budget of 2021, and then doing it again whenever the budget is approved. And believe me, if they are doing this, they cannot do something else at the same time. So
right,
a lot of things will be delayed simply because the government has not approved the budget in time.
yeah. Okay, we need to just see what happens. I'm really looking forward to the meeting of the 29th of December. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
Are you going to wear your hat, Mario?
I will bring my hat. Yes, I will take my hat that day.
Yeah, well, you're certainly looking forward to 2022, Ms. Vink, aren't you?
I don't know. I'm enjoying the last quiet days and weeks so far.
Yeah, yeah. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, Daniela, you will be having what's called an extension to the family.
Yeah, not a pet.
Not a
time.
pet, no. So yeah, I guess you're really looking forward to that. And we might even give you a week off from the live stream.
Thank you. I'll do it from hospital, no problem.
Just the 1 week. What kind of things are happening out in the community at the moment?
Well, I
Daniela?
think we have to work still a bit to clarify about the responsibilities of the communities of the town hall, and I think for many people it's still not 100% clear who's responsible for what.
Yeah.
So there have been a lot of complaints also, well, just lately now or the last couple of weeks about the Christmas lights and all that. So again, all the repairs and the Gecko app. So I think we have to catch up with things again and again also, to that people, everybody understands where to complain and how we can all improve things in Mijas within the community. With our what now we're just having we shared that little bus that goes from Fuengirola to Calahonda. So you can call them, you can add extra stops and that. So people seem to put their comments on Facebook, but of course the bus company is not going to read the comments on there. So I've tried to, I've given the email address also that the people who require a different bus stop and a different street or something, please send them an email, because you can do it online in Spanish translation. It takes you 2 minutes to translate something. And if everybody helps like a little bit, and then we can make the community just a better place, really. So I think I'll be working on that bit.
I'm sure you will. Anne has rejoined us. Anne, can you hear us? Hello, Anne. Nope, not getting anything through this end. Listen, we got a message from Sarah Hawes. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us this evening. Security and policing are ongoing issues, and I guess these are things that cross live stream boundaries, don't they, Mario? They're issues which are of concern to the councillors, or should be, certainly issues that are of concern to communities. So security and policing, making the area safer for residents. Oh, yeah.
Well, we talked about that one.
Yes,
We had a live stream about that once.
Yeah.
but it's still also for many people it's not clear who's responsible for what, or why is the police not helping, or why is the Color Honda security not going to a little supermarket, or all these things. So we I think, well, now we get more and more followers for this live stream, but so maybe people in the past have missed the live streams where we had these topics already. And yeah, unfortunately, like with what Sarah's saying, nothing has changed really. I can't understand it either. I mean, at least it works now that the members of Facebook groups, they warn each other where the robbers are. I think clipboard man is now a very famous word. Also, everybody knows now what a clipboard man is. So people know now and are more careful. But of course, at the end of the day, it doesn't solve the problem. So we have to, yeah, I would still like to get an interview or something with someone from the police, really, because I don't know what they want to do, because we can't go on like this.
Yeah. Anne.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Now
Yes, Anne, hello.
We can even see you, Anne.
Signal in Gibraltar. My telephone seemingly is not set up for video and audio. I could hear you, but you couldn't hear or see me.
Yeah.
But it's a look. Never mind.
Anyway, glad you could join us, Anne. We're just going to talking about some of the topics that we've been picking up on, and asking people to give us suggestions about what kind of things they would like us to pick up on. Security is certainly one that's still coming up. And Daniela was saying that, you know, it seems to be difficult to know who's responsible. Everybody seems to pass the parcel to someone else on the security issue. But yeah. I mean, do you think...
There has recently been such a state of control, which, I mean, we need more policing on the streets, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I think Angel Nosal discussed that the other day with our mayor of Mijas. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
And people were putting comments because he was the mayor was saying like, oh no, well, it's not that bad. And then he had to prove that what people said on Facebook, and many people put comments, myself also. And yeah, but that was just ignored somehow. And I mean, some people don't want to see that we have here by now a serious problem, and that people or tourists or even residents are really worried and scared. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's rather false economy, isn't it? If you can't guarantee people's safety as they're walking around the town, the village, call it what you will.
Yeah, but how is it possible that it's always the same people robbing our community members? It's
I don't know.
The clipboard man, it's always the same guys. So how is that possible since years? Or the flower women, I don't understand it. I would like to get answers to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is.
Yeah, and Andre has just said that, you know, he sees a lot of police officers hiding in their cars and looking at the telephone instead of acting and getting round and about. I think we do see in La Cala quite regularly a police presence, but you know, I'm not sure that this is, you know, the things are not happening necessarily in La Cala. Yeah.
Oh, they are. So they are many of them. Where all the latest jewelry robberies and where the people got their watches stolen was all in La Cala.
That was in La Cala, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was by the supermarket.
Right.
Yeah.
What,
and in Color Honda, we have the police car, the local police comes around 1:30 and parks at El Zoco, where the post office is, because then there's that parking line where you're not allowed to park. That's the only time of the day when they're interested to come to tow the cars away. But apart from that, I mean, with my job, I drive around all day here. And I hardly don't see any police. Just well, around 1:30 when you're not allowed to park, when the when the post lorry comes,
Right.
then yes.
What can we do about this, Mario? You know, Angel, I think did raise, but I know he raised this issue in the last council meeting, and I have to say, not because it's Angel or because we work with him, I think he expressed it very sensitively. He said, you know, this is not about finding blame or whatever, but we need to acknowledge that these things are happening. What else can we do?
Correct.
What else can we do, Mario?
Yes, Angel did not criticize anyone. He simply raised a problem that we have of security, which is increasing. And the worst is not the lack of security. The worst is the lack of reaction. That is what concerns people. And we can act in two directions. One is try to organize the police a little bit better. I know what has been said, that perhaps they are just inside the car, but possibly they are there answering a message regarding their work. So I don't want to criticize them, but possibly it is true that instead of sending them to El Zoco to stop parking there at 1:30, they could be, for example, patrolling the parking areas of the supermarket.
For example. Yeah.
Correct, and take those clipboard mans, which seems to be a new profession of success here in Mijas. But there is a second thing which is more important. We could have more policemen. And let me link this with what I was talking before. If you have 20 people in the town hall doing the accounts twice because the budget has not been approved, you need more people in the office dealing with papers. But if you do things in time, possibly instead of having those 20 people in the office, you could have 20 more policemen. And those 20 more policemen could be in the street. So it is not a matter of spending more money. It is a matter of organizing things better. Nobody believes that having all these computers and forcing people to do many things online now, Mijas cannot afford to reduce the number of people doing administrative tasks and increase the number of people in the street patrolling as policemen. That is our concern. That is our petition. We believe that the town hall could organize things better and have less people doing accounts and more people in the street avoiding crime in general.
I can just interject. Gone are the days where you PC plod walking in the street, all you will see is a couple of policemen parked in their car. And that is not sufficient. Walking on the street.
Correct. A policeman in the street walking is a big deterrent. Why? Because those who are going to steal a handbag, because in Mijas we don't have, let's say, high quality crime. We don't have people kidnapping or shooting. No, we don't have that kind of violence, thanks God and thanks the police. But we have, let's say, a low or medium-sized violence and crime. And
I think Riviera is quite well known. Riviera also for stabbings and shootings and that.
Yes, but I mean, we don't need to exaggerate. It is true, but it only happens very seldom. But the policeman walking in the street gives a sensation of security. And those who want to commit a crime will prefer to do it whenever the police is not patrolling the streets. It's very clear they will go somewhere else. And we are defending the interest of Mijas municipality, not only La Cala, all the area of Mijas. So the more policemen we have walking in the street, knowing people and being known by people, the safer we will be and the safer we will feel, which is also important. It is important to feel safe.
Yeah.
I mean, after the lockdown we've had, I've still got elderly people, and they're only just about venturing out because they didn't feel safe mixing with people. And if you suggest there's always having their watches or their handbags stolen. And then, I mean, you know, it doesn't take much to spread the word that it's not safe.
Yeah, but also on the other hand, if I see, I think I saw it again today, My husband's wallet was stolen while he was in a client's house. I mean, why would you leave your wallet in the car? There's still people that are also inviting thieves to commit these crimes because they are not careful, and the women still put their handbags on the back of their chair or on the floor. So I mean, that's not Mijas. You can't do that anywhere in the world. I mean. So it's a mix. I mean, there have been 2 men, I think, in the last weeks that have been like beaten up and pushed to the floor, and their expensive watches were stolen. I mean, that's something. Or they come on the little motorbikes and push them and grab their handbags and everything. I mean, that's of course a huge problem, and it's getting, and also in plain daylight. I personally see the police walking on the boulevard in La Cala, up and down, having a chat. And I mean, where these crimes happen, it's more or less always the same areas as well. So it would be maybe I write that down for myself to pick up on that security community thing. To speak also to a solicitor, because what I also don't understand, or that a solicitor can join us in the live stream, why the supermarkets can't forbid certain people like these clipboard men to leave their plot or to their shop. Why is it possible that they always can go in the shops anymore? I mean, in Germany, once you have committed a crime or something, you're not allowed to go on. That's like trespassing. You're not allowed to even come close anymore.
And they must have CCTV that they can identify these people, surely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who they are anyway. So they all, that's a clipboard man, the big guy, and that's the other one. And I mean, and they're just laughing about us all. I don't know.
Can I just move on a little bit? I know that this is a big area of concern, and you know, I get messages on a regular basis about this. You know, as Mario said, I think we do need to put it into a context that, you know, Mijas is not fundamentally an unsafe place to live in, but there are these things happening, and you know, we need to see a response to it. But Anne, I want to just focus on you for a moment, if I can. You've had you've had the Brexit year. Oh my goodness!
Yes.
It's been interesting, hasn't it?
Yes, for the 5th year running, very interesting.
Yeah. Do you think 2022 is going to see things settling down in any way, Anne?
No, but certainly Boris Johnson seems to think that Brexit is over and done with regard to the British expats that are living in the EU. And as I had a meeting today with the British Embassy, and as I understand it, all public funding is stopping from March onwards, and we are basically out on a limb, which is why we as Brexpats in Spain, we're sort of morphing into a much broader call ourselves international to encompass all foreigners that are living in Spain.
Right. So we've
got to help Bill. We've got to, because there's not going to be any other help.
Right.
And I'm going to be relying very heavily on the Spanish, the law societies throughout Spain. We're regionalising, so we are going to be rather more regional specific with information and help, because as you know, 70% the law to their own ends.
Yes, yeah,
So
indeed.
it's difficult to standardise and say this is the law in Spain, because it is where you live.
Yeah, and you know, if we're talking about, for example, national police, I mean, even just going from Marbella to Fuengirola or from one desk to another, you can get different information and different requirements, can't you?
Yeah, you can. I mean, another thing that come out in what we call swallows, the second homeowners, their homes were empty for a lot longer than they ever are. As a result, urbanisation, a big urbanisation, nearly 500 properties, to the Spanish Neighbourhood Watch Association.
Right.
Which we've got signs up on the roads, we've got stickers on people's windows or doors saying that they're a member. Obviously, they've had to fill in the application. All I can think is any thief at Motta or something, because it's usually from organised gangs, look and think, oh, crikey, instead of just because we've now got perhaps 500 pairs of eyes staring at us. You know,
Right.
we're not out on the street like vigilantes, but we're certainly looking out for one another.
Right. So you're not carrying sort of socks filled with a bar of
No.
coins?
No. Permission to the power of attorneys and things like that to be able to do it, because a lot of the foreign second homeowners certainly do not know that you have to have a power of attorney to be able to access the property or to take it to court.
Right.
And the squatters can be in for months.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't turn off any electricity or water, etc. So it costs you a bomb.
Sure. Mario, I don't know if you can answer this, but you know, in the UK, I mean, I've been here 20 years, so I'm going back a long time now. You know, cameras, security cameras were even then the norm. I remember sitting in the headquarters of Central Scotland Police, and in the what did they call it? The kind of operations room. And we could see everything that was happening around Stirling from the cameras that they have. It's more complicated in Spain, isn't it?
Well, it is not because you were in England and you are now in Spain. It is because you are talking about more than 20 years ago, when the data protection law was not so active. Now you can't be taken to court for recording anything in the public way. You know, it is very famous when some people were fighting outside a Corte Inglés shop somewhere in Spain, and the police went to the Corte Inglés. They released the records. That person was condemned, and then he sued the Corte Inglés because of that, and he got a big amount of money because his privacy was violated by these cameras. So from that very moment, people are afraid of doing that. But of course, the security can be increased a lot. Let me add something to what Anne was saying. The problem of Brexit, and I don't want to discuss the reason for that, but the result has been that the British, who have always been here as neighbors, as people living here, they consider this almost their country. All of a sudden, they have gone back to become strangers, and they have to do a lot of things that before they didn't have to do because they were within Europe. And this is creating a bad feeling among them, because they wonder why they have to do all these things if before they didn't need to do it. And it is basically because 52 or 53% of the British decided Brexit. I know most of those who live in Spain wanted to stay in Europe, but that is the result. So all of a sudden they find themselves having to do a lot of things more. For example, this problem with the driving license that someone has mentioned before, we all expect an agreement before the end of the year, but it is only 15 days.
Do not hold your breath, Mario. I would be surprised if there's even an extension, never mind an agreement.
Right.
Correct, but there are 15 days. Why do they wait always until the deadline? Couldn't they approve?
The extension until the 22nd. So if there's an extension, possibly it will be this coming week. It's very late in the day.
Yes, but
I mean, December is a very short month in Spain with the fiestas. They're going to be stuck, and there are so many people, elderly as well, that are living in the campo, and they need to be able to drive. It's just so unfair. I mean, we're lucky down here. Malaga has been fairly on the ball at Tráfico, but in Valencia, some people have been waiting to get an appointment, and they still cannot get an appointment. It's not their fault that they can't get the appointment to exchange the license.
Yeah.
So
correct. That's what I was criticizing. If the Brexit has been approved, fine, so be it. But please publish the law in time so people can exchange their driving license or whatever. Do not wait until the very last moment to say yes, no, or extend the time. That
Yeah.
is
But
what is annoying people.
some of them didn't have their residency card, and they've had to wait for that to come through. I mean, to be truthful, I'm fed up defending Spain. There's so many members. Why is Spain doing this to us? And all I can say is, hello, which country has left the EU? It isn't Spain.
No.
This is the UK has created this
Correct.
problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always very much in defence of Spain, to be truthful, because I know they're trying their best to help us. I mean, they offered the extension before because they knew given the huge demand upon them, not only with residencies but with driving licences and having the COVID restrictions with skeleton staff. They couldn't deal with it. So period. And then after that, they gave us another 6 months because the situation hadn't changed. How many extensions they can do this? I believe that says not, I don't know. Let's see. Fingers
So,
crossed. But a lot of them.
Anyway, Anne, the kind of focus of what was Brexpats in Spain is going to be shifting. I think that's really interesting to know, and also I think what you've said that it's going to be focusing more on individual regions, given
Yes.
the differences between Andalusia and Catalonia or Galicia or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really interesting to see how this
Yeah,
new.
we will have obviously I will be president, which is National Association, but I shall be the southern region. My vice
Right.
president is in Alicante. He will be the eastern region. We've got central, northern, and western. There's not that much demand in those areas, to be honest. I mean, mine
Right.
will cover the Canaries, and the eastern region will cover the Balearics. Where
Right.
we're international, we're going to be dealing with every foreigner that is here in Spain.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
we will have experts in the region.
Right. Okay.
Good.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, thank you for joining me this evening. We
Thank
got
you.
Leanne. Thanks to your doctor for letting
Yeah.
borrow his phone. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We will be back in the new year, and please, we want this to keep being an interactive thing, because that's the whole point of it. What you need to understand is that sometimes just raising an issue isn't the same as getting the problem solved. And between us, we do try to sort of hook the right people in the right place, try to move things on. But it is quite a slow process sometimes. But listen, I'm looking forward to 2022. I think it has to be better. Daniela, Mario, and thank you very much for your commitment to this project this year. Really appreciate it. Alan, I'm not sure where Alan is. He's probably off whining and dining somewhere, and I don't know.
He's always socialising.
Yeah. Andre has said,
Yes.
a pleasure to see you all. Thank you for joining us so regularly, Andre. We really appreciate it. I would like to wish everyone the season's greetings, within any limitations and restrictions that we may have. And I really want to give good wishes to everyone for 2022. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for
Thank
joining.
you.
Do you want us to sing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" or something like that?
No,
No.
No, Bill, but
With it.
that's right. Bill, let me say, as the only Spanish in the group, let me say Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
Por
Thank you very
cierto.
much, Mario. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
for all
you.
of
Muchas gracias.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.